We don't discover the joy of Jesus by reading the book of Leviticus, but we do know that Jesus is pleased when we study his word. So we journey on this week with chapters 20 through 24, reading a chapter each day out of the book of Leviticus, followed with a devotion that brings some extra thought to the chapter. There are some detestable acts of sin listed in the 20th chapter. His chosen people were going to enter Canaan, where their immoral religious practices reflected a decadent culture that tended to corrupt whoever encountered it. Punishment was clearly stated for idolatry, spiritualism, dishonoring parents, and immorality. God was building a nation to make a positive influence on the world. He did not want the Israelites to adopt the Canaanite practices, so the laws were made. He was preparing the people for what they would face. Privilege always brings responsibility. If the nation was to be sanctified, the spiritual leaders had to set the example. Note the following authoritative counsel our God gave to the priests in chapter 21. 1. Don't defile yourself. Priests could not touch a dead body except those closely related. 2. Don't profane God's name. It should be respected and hallowed. 3. Don't profane his sanctuary. Holy men must minister in holy courts. 4. Do not be drawn into forbidden physical or emotional pleasure. Priests were held to a higher calling. In chapter 21, God warned the priests not to be defiled by the unclean things. Now, in chapter 22, he warns them not to defile the clean things. The chapter begins and ends with a solemn admonition, quote, "You shall not disrespect my holy name," unquote. God gave the priests specific guidelines for the serving, sharing, and sacrificing during the religious offerings. To help people draw near to the Lord, the priests themselves must follow the Lord's command. The Hebrew calendar was organized around a series of sevens. The seventh day of the week was the Sabbath. They celebrated 7 annual feasts, 3 of which occurred in the 7th month. The 7th year was their sabbatical year, and after 49 years, 7 times 7, they celebrated the year of Jubilee. Chapter 23 explains each of the feasts or holidays. 5 of them are joyous occasions to 2 solemn ones. God wants a balance of meditation and celebration. He wants us to celebrate all that he has done for us. 3 important responsibilities, quote, before the Lord, unquote, are given in this chapter. 1. Oil had to be provided to keep the lamps shining in the Holy of Holies. 2. 12 loaves of bread were put on the altar each Sabbath. This was a reminder that God fed the 12 tribes. And 3, God's name had to be protected. If not, the person would lose their life. Today, his name is mentioned in anger, as an opening for a phrase, for excitement, for surprise, so often used not in a conversation of reverence or respect. This is a good warning for us. We read about more rules and regulations this week. Next week, we will finish the book of Leviticus. Won't you check in? Because Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. And I pray the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.